Hey there, Leo. Welcome to your reading. This is your October bonus reading. We are going to jump right in here, Leo. You start with this Solar Flares card. It says Activate, and you have this Virgo card. It says Digest. Yeah, I feel like Leos are digesting quite a bit right now. Probably some changes that you've made over the past few months, and it is a good time for you to just think, plan, think about the changes you've made. And I would also say, lock things in. If there are any good changes that you've made, it's like, how can you make those changes more secure or more, predictable or whatever the case may be? And that's really what I would focus on if I were you, Leo. You also have that card that says Activate, and you start with the Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles is like everything you want and desire in your life. It is your, kind of like the big picture. I think for fixed signs, you being one of them, with Uranus going back into Taurus next month of November, a lot of you are pretty much going to focus on this right here, Ten of Pentacles, everything you want and desire. It doesn't mean that you have it, of course, as I always say, but, Ten of Pentacles is a good card for putting the work in to have it or to create this. Again, this is like your ultimate vision for your life. So if there are things that you don't have that you want, then it would definitely be a good time to, like I said, lock in. I think that is the key word that I'm getting off of that Digest card. It's like you're taking a minute maybe this month to, think about everything you have, think about the things you don't have, and then you are deciding okay, these are the things I want. Maybe you are kind of committing to the vision with the Ten of Pentacles, and then you're locking in on what you need to do to get it. And yeah, I think it's a really good time to do that. I mean, we also have Mercury retrograde next month, but again, that's not necessarily a bad thing. You could be revisiting things, or if you start this process now, it doesn't really matter if you do it during the retrograde, because you will have started it before the retrograde. And I feel that's good. This month, really surprising financial cards in just the regular monthlies that I did. Money looked good, and also in this, and I only have one more reading to do for this set of readings, and everybody's finances have looked really good. So there could be something positive happening for people finally, as far as finances are concerned. So again, if you're coming up with any new ideas or anything like that, I would focus on that. I'm talking about money. For your crossing energy, you have the Six of Pentacles. The crossing energy can be what hurts you or helps you in a Celtic cross. Six of Pentacles, like equal give and take. But again, I think this is your commitment to what you are giving to, obviously. He's giving to this person, not this person. I always say maybe he's not giving to this person because they have ulterior motives. They have something in their back pocket here. And so, it could have to do with that. But it could also have to do with balance, because, like I said, I think that there are some things that you have that you do want in life, and there are obviously other things that you don't, and it's trying to find that balance between all your desires. Maybe that's a better way to put it here for you, Leo. But I feel like you're trying to find that balance. I feel pretty good about this reading so far. In the area of what's on your mind, you have the Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands is boundaries. Again, I feel pretty good about this because you're just thinking about what boundaries to put up where. And I also feel that some of you are clearly not giving up on something. I feel like you can't give up on something. It's every once in a while, I think this happens in life where it's sometimes we get an idea, we meet a person or, whatever that we just can't give up on no matter what. Even if we say, I'm going to give up on this, and then we say, oh, I'll give it one more chance, right? And I feel like some of you are thinking about something like that. Definitely could be financially. You have really good money cards here. And I feel this is definitely encouraging you to keep going. You have the Fool in, going down here. And then you have the Seven of Pentacles. Going to the Fool to the Seven of Pentacles, it's trying to create change. And, again, if something hasn't been working as you want it to, this could say that you basically, the Seven of Pentacles is you experimenting your way toward success. Even the Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands is the card of the Wounded Warrior, but it's also the card of throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks, according to me. So, again, I think a lot of you could be experimenting your way toward success, probably on something that you can't give up on, whatever that is. You have the Chariot, which again is great. It's coming up in the area of your foundation, so this could be a victory or a big win coming in for you here, Leo. It could also say that you're in a time where you're setting yourself apart. Again, I think fixed signs are kind of in a position where they are setting themselves apart. the Chariot can come up when we are realizing that everything in our life is the same. He's leaving the city behind him behind, and he's doing that to set himself apart so that he can be unique. And it's like he is leaving the safety, the comfort of the city, but he also realizes that it's just like a bunch of robots that live in the city. It's just a bunch of all the same energy. There's nothing new. There's nothing exciting. And so he's on this journey looking for excitement. And you have the Two of Wands, you have the Knight of Wands here. I definitely feel a lot of you are kind of like looking to spice up your life, basically, here, Leo. You're looking for more excitement, more adventure, more fun opportunities, all that other good stuff. Wouldn't surprise me if some of you were moving as well. So again, some of you could be thinking about moving or traveling, stuff like that. Next, in the area of your past, you have this Birds of a Feather card and this Higher View card. Yes, you always get these cards like this and the Star in your readings. I'm always telling Leo that I think it would be a great time for you to zoom out, on your life, to look at everything that's happening in your life and, make decisions from there with that Higher View card. The Birds of a Feather card, again, sameness, right, with the Chariot. I feel the Birds of a Feather card, they say birds of a feather flock together. I feel like you're looking for a new flock. You're looking for a new group or, new surroundings just in general. And there's like a million ways that could manifest in your life. But I definitely feel you're on this journey to like surround yourself with the right people and to, it's like, I don't know. It's like you're an eagle among chickens here, Leo, is kind of the feeling I get. So, if you feel like a group of people or something that you belong to is just, I don't mean below you in a jerky way here, but I mean, if you just can soar higher, then why shouldn't you, is the question I'm getting there. You have the Tower moment here in your past. Some of you maybe have had a Tower moment. I feel like this is more warning signs just in general. And so some of you, it's like, again, if you do something with a group of people or certain people in like work or business or whatever, there might be certain warning signs that it's time to change. I feel like if this message is for you, you've already seen it. And so you could be making those changes. The whole point of the Tower is that these people are coming down to reality. They're seeing reality for how it actually is. And, they've been ignoring reality for too long. And so I feel for a lot of you that you're kind of like embracing this new reality, or you are embracing a new reality with the Tower, and I do feel that will be a good thing for you. So, yeah, I really have nothing more to say about it. I also get moving, like I said, you have a lot of moving cards here. The Tower can just be a move. The Chariot, the Two of Wands, the Knight of Wands. So, it wouldn't surprise me if some of you either have or are considering it. Next, can't make this up. In the area of your very near future, you have this change card. It says change or movement in your life, new direction, relocation, progress, change of view, job, partner. What does it say? Partner or heart. You have this child. It says fresh start, new beginning phase, newness, childish, pregnancy, naive, children, childhood. Too many words on these cards. I feel you need to embrace your inner child, for sure. I think life for Leos has been too serious for too long, right? And so I do feel like the more playful you can be with life, the better. Clearly, there's some sort of change. Again, if you're not moving, then you're making moves in life here. And, I kind of feel like you're making big moves, not little ones. And I definitely would. I think October is a good month for pretty much everyone to make big moves. And, it's kind of weird because it's like a subdued energy. And, this is the argument that I'm going to make. This is according to Chris's crappy astrology here, right? We had Saturn, Neptune, and Aries. Neptune will retrograde out of Aries this month in the middle of the month. Saturn's already in Pisces. But, Saturn, I think, Saturn especially in Aries wants us to be loud. And October is like a little bit more of a subdued month. So it's easier to be loud in October, I think. That's what I feel kind of intuitively. And so I would encourage you to, put yourself out there more, make bigger moves because, the opportunity exists for you to really stand out. And I would. You have the Fool. Yeah, like some sort of leap of faith. This is coming up again in the area of the very near future or your very near future. So some of you could be taking some, a leap of faith or taking a big leap in your life towards something that you want to accomplish or that you want to have. I would definitely encourage it. Also could be a new beginning. And I do feel that Leo should prepare for some sort of new beginning. It's almost like a whirlwind energy here where you get swept up in something, Leo. I mean that in a good way. And, it's like a whirlwind romance, but I don't necessarily, again, I'm not saying this reading has nothing to do with love, really. I mean, it could be part of it, sure, but I think this reading is obviously all about you and the moves you're making. So, again, I feel like you're getting swept up in something. And again, it's probably something that you just can't give up on. Like I said, with that Nine of Wands, it's kind of a weird message to get on the Nine of Wands, but that's really what I feel. It's like, I really just feel like there's something in your life that you just keep revisiting, or, and it could be like an idea, a business idea, a career idea. It could be a personal idea, whatever. But it's like something that is a constant in your life. I feel like I've said that to you before. Maybe I have, maybe I haven't. Next, in the area of your outcome row, you have this knowledge card and this enchanted card. Yeah, I feel like you know more than enough to make something a success. So I would definitely encourage you to do it. I would trust your knowledge and wisdom. I think Leos need to use their knowledge and wisdom more. I say to Leo all the time, like I've said to you before, and this is just an example, but like let's say you are retirement age. I think out of all the signs, Leo will be the sign that doesn't retire. And not in a bad way. I mean that in a good way. Like as in you could discover a project that makes you not want to retire, or you could be working on a business or using your knowledge in a better way. And again, obviously, not all of you are retirement age. So you're going to, that's the best example I can give you. But I feel like you're using your knowledge for work in a better way. You have the Seven of Pentacles in the area of the next few months. Yeah, like I said, a lot of weighing your options here with that Six of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles is kind of like analysis. He's just, he's saying, is the juice worth the squeeze? He's looking at the things that he's putting energy, effort, attention into, and he's saying, like, is it worth it or not to be, investing in these pentacles, or is there something better that I could be investing in? And again, I don't know. I can't answer that question for you. You have to answer that question on your own. But I do feel a lot of you are kind of like looking at things you want, or, things that you think you want in life, and some of you are looking at things you don't want, and you're probably cutting those things out. So I just see a lot of like, reorganization here. Next, in the area of your closest relationships, this is all relationships in your life. You have the Death card and the Two of Wands. Like I said, an eagle among chickens here. That's the best analogy I can give you here, Leo. I feel for a lot of you, you're realizing that that it's time has come to end something. It could be like I feel like it could be with a group of people, or something like maybe something that you're attached to. It doesn't even have to be a relationship. It could be some place you go, or something that you're doing with your life. And I feel like you're just ready for a change. Two of Wands can sometimes represent something having run its course. He's done where he is. The wand behind him stands on its own, and he's reaching forward to this new wand, and he has the whole world in his hands. So if he were to stay attached to his castle, he would be limiting himself. He wouldn't have access to the world. He would only have access to that tiny little spot in the world where he is. So I feel for a lot of you, yeah, big changes for sure this month. Next, you have the Knight of Wands in the area of your future feelings, which is pretty good. I like seeing this for Leo. I think this is a good energy for you, being more adventurous, fun, spontaneous. Being a fixed sign, sometimes it's hard for fixed signs to be spontaneous. And, again, I think some of you could be just having more fun, enjoying yourself more. It's also a card of looking into mysteries, which I'm a big fan of for you. For you in particular, Leo, I think that there could be some mysteries in your life where it's like, maybe you have an idea and you're not sure if it's going to work. I feel like the Knight of Wands is like, go find out. Just go try it and see what happens, right? And I feel like you are, kind of more willing to take those types of risks, where you're willing to try, you're willing to put yourself out there, embrace the adventure. The Knight of Wands, he has to realize that he is the true builder in the tarot. So, if he doesn't have something, he builds it. And I feel a lot of you have that opportunity. Your outcome is the Justice card, which could be literal justice for some of you. I do feel that, like, if you have had any injustices, especially with groups of people, I'm very focused on groups of people in your reading for some reason, Leo. Maybe you are as well, but, there could be justice there. The whole entire reading is talking about you creating balance, but more in the sense of, what you don't have. It's like sometimes we want, we're working all the time, and it's like maybe we want love, but it's like then once we start having love, work suffers, it's like we're trying to create that balance. in life, and I feel like that's where a lot of you are. It's like you have some things that you want, like I said earlier, but I feel there are other things that you don't have that you want, and you're like trying to figure out how to make that happen. I feel like it's like much easier than you think, as well, is what I feel like saying. It's like maybe you're thinking like, oh my God, maybe you want to balance your work life out. And if you work 80 hours a week, maybe you're like, oh my God, if I get a job working 40, I'm going to make half as much money. But, it's like that might not be true. Maybe you could find something that pays you more where you'd make the same amount and you would then have a life, right? And so it's like that's the type of stuff that you're thinking about. Or at least I think so. So let's see. Sorry, I meant to switch that. Let's see where this is going for you here, Leo. With the Ten of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles, you have the Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands, a card of conviction. It says the more you believe the Ten of Pentacles can be true, the more likely it is to be true. That's what he has to do. He has to believe in that he can have the situation that he's dreaming of or the thing that he wants to create. I would also say, I'm pretty sure I've said to you before, Leo, that you are ready. He feels like he had to rush out of his home to defend his position at the top of this hill, but really, the card itself can sometimes say like you're as ready as you're gonna be. It's kind of like a "what are you waiting for" type of energy. So whatever your Ten of Pentacles is, or whatever you're hoping and wishing for, I would really go for it, and I wouldn't wait any longer with the Seven of Wands. With the Nine of Wands, you have the Fool. Yes. Again, I think you're just trying something again, like we already said with this Fool here, or with the Nine of Wands. It's like there's something that you just have to take a leap of faith on. I feel like it's something you've done before, or it's something, like I said, that you can't ignore, or it's something that that you just keep revisiting mentally, maybe, and I would take that leap of faith. With the Chariot, you have the Two of Pentacles. I feel like you need to put yourself first, really, is what this is saying. Two of Pentacles is juggling, spinning plates, having too much going on in life. But sometimes, with the Chariot, he's setting himself apart. Again, he's leaving that city behind him behind. It's like, would keeping yourself in the flock of chickens, would that be beneficial to you? If you are an eagle, right? Like, would that help you? No, is the answer, right? And so I feel like some of you could be, it's like you could be thinking like, oh, if I, leave my job, maybe your job, everybody there is a bunch of chickens. And it's like, you're like, if I leave my job, then all these people are going to, it's going to hurt these people or whatever. But it's like, I think you need to not think like that. Because, again, I think you have to, reach your full potential. Or at least the reading is encouraging you to do that. The other thing is the Two of Pentacles can be like a settlement. So I feel if you are involved in something legal, this could be some sort of settlement coming in for you. With the Tower, you have the Ace of Wands. Actually pretty good. The Tower is like a spark of hope or a spark of inspiration. The Ace of Wands. The Tower has the spark right here with that lightning bolt at the top of the tower. So, again, some of you, it's like a past Tower moment could have triggered out with the old in with the new. The Ace of Wands is this castle is crumbling in the background. So it just represents out with the old in with the new and starting, new projects, new ideas, moving in new directions. I think all that would be good for you. With the Fool, you have the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords can be like lying, cheating, stealing, but really, in this reading, again, I think it's all about you. And the Seven of Swords is a golden card. As I always say, golden cards are meant to be positive, no matter what. And so he is stealing those swords from an army in the background, and it kind of represents the fact that he's being tactical. I've been warning people about this for years, basically talking about Pluto and Aquarius, Uranus and Gemini. These energies require us to be tactical. It's like if you're thinking about starting a business, and if you're thinking, I'm going to do this the traditional way, I'm going to do this like everybody else. No, probably not. And you probably shouldn't either. I wouldn't. I would be coming up with a tactical way to do things, which means that you have to do your research. Like, is there a better way to start something? Is there a better way to, do the work that you're doing? I always use the example of YouTube. It's like there are tons of YouTubers who have, 10 videos on their channel. And if you look at those YouTubers, most of them have like 1 subscriber, but there are some that have like 1 million subscribers with only 10 videos, right? And so it's like, there's really no difference between them. But the difference is the approach, is being tactical. And so I think that it would be much better for you to spend time thinking tactically. I feel this is true. I think this is true for everyone. So I would definitely say, anything that you're starting, look for, do your research and find the best way to approach it. But also don't approach things like everybody else. With the Seven of Pentacles, you have the Seven of Pentacles. So Seven of Pentacles says, is the juice worth the squeeze? Is it worth it? Is your life worth it? It would be my question to you, Leo, with the Ten of Pentacles. Like, is it, are you living your fulfilled life, or are there things that are holding you back? It's really funny to me. I think, like, some of you Leos even, it's like you could be realizing that, like, certain people in your life are holding you back. It's like sometimes I think friends do this. It's like if you get into a relationship, you might have a friend that starts hating on the relationship, and it's like, but they're trying to prevent you from having something you want, and I'm not saying it's love. That's just the first example that popped into my head. It could be business, could be anything, but it's like, I think you are realizing that you have to live your own life, plain and simple. With the Two of Wands, you have the Magician. Yes, you can have whatever you want here, Leo. This is coming up in the area of your closest relationships, so I would definitely do whatever you can to, manifest positive relationships. Again, it's a card of reinvention. Like, you are changing. Clearly, this reading is saying that you are changing. So coming up in the area of your closest relationships, then obviously if you change, your relationships are probably going to change too. I always pull the card that he's pointing to. We're going to say it's this one right here. Here you go. You have this past life card. It says past events, past people. It says people from the past. I can't read, so there you go. Past life connections, history, memories, familiarity, and old soul. So you could be attracting, if you do want love, you could be attracting a past life person, probably an old soul as well, is what I would say. Again, I think you're no longer, again, you don't want chickens, Leo, for sure. That is the message of this reading. You don't want chickens. You don't want to be a chicken. You don't want to date a chicken. The list goes on and on there. So, again, I think you want an eagle as well, probably an old soul. With the Knight of Wands, you have the Three of Swords. Yeah, letting go of the past hurts. I definitely feel with Uranus going retrograde, Mercury going retrograde next month as well. And plus we just had that eclipse in Virgo. I think it's a great time to forgive the past, let go of the past. These three swords are in your own heart. The whole point of this card is to remove those swords from your heart. And the easiest way to do that is to forgive the past. So I would do whatever you can to let go of the past, forgive the past, to heal, to rest, relax, recover, digest, right? Maybe you need to work on your digestion here, Leo. But, again, I think healing would be a good thing with this card. With the Justice card, you have the Death card. Again, of course, the whole entire reading is about you making like a major change in your life and moving into the future. What I like to say to Leo is that for whatever reason, I really feel that Leo is being affected by Neptune and Pisces. Neptune will retrograde into Pisces in the middle of the month. And the Death card is a challenge to traditional belief. This Pope-looking guy right here, he kind of represents traditional belief. And Neptune and Pisces is a direct challenge to traditional belief. We all have belief systems for whatever reason. And Neptune and Pisces is just like, why? It's like the little 2-year-old that is asking you, like, why? Why do you believe this? Why do you believe that? And it dissolves those old belief systems, so we can create new belief systems in life about ourselves, about, the world, whatever it is. And so a lot of you could be experiencing that. And again, it's pretty crazy to me that for months now, Leo, like, you have been the one that always gets these messages of kind of like changing your beliefs. So there you go. Next, you have this gavel card that says involvement with the law. Yes, I said it on that Justice card. I do feel like some of you could be dealing with something legal. It looks pretty good. You have the Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles, again, to me, it's a clue card. There are some cards in the tarot I call clue cards, and the Two of Pentacles can be a clue, like I said, for like a settlement, a payout, something like that. You have this bag. It says something important, such as a new job or a raise. There you go. Definitely money coming in. Ten of Pentacles. I think you're wanting to do things that are more worth it, that, provide better results as far as your finances are concerned. You have this beetle. It says good fortune on it. Damn, Leo. Definitely one of the better readings this month for sure. So I think there are good things happening for Leo in October, and I would take advantage of it. I would do anything that can bring you good fortunes as well, and I would just think about it. You have this bowl. It says plenty of material things. Another good one here, Leo. I feel you definitely are increasing your material life. You know, you have the Ten of Pentacles, which is kind of like materialism, but not like in the the bad way. I think that word, some people think it's a bad word, but, just depends on how you use it, right? That's what she said, Leo. So I feel that it just depends on how you use the energy. It's like you can be positively materialistic. You can have nice things that you value, right? And that you treat well. That doesn't mean you're spending money all over the place, right? So I would definitely do that. You have this firecracker. It says excitement. Clearly, very exciting reading. Knight of Wands would be very excited. So this looks very good, Leo. I like where this is going. So thank you for being here. Make sure to leave a like, drop a comment. Really helps me out. And definitely enjoy your month.